Hello, welcome back to Shining from Within, the podcast where we explore the infinite amount of power and potential that lies within each and every one of us. I am your host, Genevieve, and tonight we're going to discuss a topic I'm going to entitle as closure. Closure. I think at this point, almost each and every one of my listeners is familiar with the concept of closure, be it in a relationship, in a work environment, family situation. Basically, closure is about letting go and moving forward in whatever circumstance or situation you may find yourself. I think it's very important to get to a point where you understand that certain words that you wish and desire to hear from certain people, you will never hear. You just have to make peace with certain things, be it in a work situation where you have a horrible boss? Yeah, some people have horrible bosses. No matter how hard you work, no matter how much effort and dedication you put into that, you will never get the appreciation from that person, and it can be frustrating, especially when you seek validation on the outside. It's better to take a step back and to self-evaluate and then self-validate as well, because certain people will never appreciate, and that's a given. Sometimes it's not even their fault, they can't help it. It's just some internal issues, and you cannot fix another human being. In a relationship setup, sometimes you might be in this toxic situation, and you know how you want to get down and dirty and crazy, and sometimes when you get to a point where you're better off moving on, you will never hear certain words, you will never see certain things done, no matter how much you desire them. And you have to get to a point where you are comfortable and you make peace with such, and you're just like, okay, I'm glad I met this person. I'm glad we, our paths crossed in such a way, and there was good and then there was bad. And then you chose to look at the good and not the bad. And then you chose to move on for the good and not to stay for the worst. So this evening, I think basically I just want to highlight the fact that closure is about making peace, seeking internal inner peace. Certain things, certain validation you will never get from the outside. You have to self-validate, and there's nothing wrong with that. Of course, it's important to talk about it, experience these feelings. I'm not saying you internalize anything. You have to let it out, let it go and move on. Yeah, I think with age you get to a point of maturity where you do not even harbor any grudges, any ill will. You just wish people the best and move on, and there's nothing wrong with that. I feel like the most brave people are able to do that. And so this evening I just felt compelled to bring this to the table, and I'm glad that I did. And I hope it helps you one way or another. And thanks for tuning in. Good night.